Oh, it's time for our Seen and Unseen segment where we reveal the stories behind the headlines. For that, we're joined by Raymond Arroyo, EWTN News Managing Editor, author of The Spider Who Saved Christmas. Raymond, Governor Andrew Cuomo got an Emmy Award today. For what? Pray tell.
Well, he received a Founders Award from the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Laura, for his 111 COVID briefings. Now, this award has been given to Oprah, Spielberg, for crossing over cultural boundaries and touching our common humanity. Though, when Andrew Cuomo touches our common humanity, bad things happen. Nonetheless, the celeb showed up to toast the gov.
In the midst of this storm, Andrew Cuomo became the nation's governor.
Thank you for your leadership during these trying times.
The darkest days of the pandemic, your daily briefings live from New York gave us hope, gave us clarity.
Now that you're the love gov, you've kind of transcended politics, and now you're just part of really more, you're more of like a national sex symbol.
I wish I could say that my daily COVID presentations were well choreographed, scripted, rehearsed, or reflected any of the talents that you advance. They didn't. They offered only one thing: authentic truth and stability. But sometimes that's enough.
Unless you're one of the poor old people, Laura, confined to those nursing homes who died of COVID when Cuomo forced them to readmit COVID patients. Now, given the pain out there and the grieving families, this Emmy was completely inappropriate. He should have had the decency to decline this thing when people are still suffering and you've got a second spike in New York.
First of all, Robert De Niro, you could see him reading the lines like back and forth. He's one of the greatest actors of the last, 50 years? Can't he just memorize a few lines? If he loves Cuomo so much, is it that difficult? But at least Billy Crystal and Ben Stiller, who are both hilarious actors, it was kind of comic, this whole thing, was it not?
Laura, somewhere Anthony Fauci is going, where's my Emmy? Brad Pitt played me and I played myself. So we'll see what happens there.
That's very unfair, Raymond, very unfair. All right, as he receives his Emmy, Cuomo is lashing out at New York sheriffs who refused to enforce his 10-person limit on Thanksgiving gatherings.
Well, only he let it slip, Laura, the other day that he was sharing Thanksgiving with his 89-year-old mother and 2 daughters. But after the backlash today, the governor's office announced he's nixing those plans. Thanksgiving is clearly an endangered holiday, Laura, not only due to COVID. Over on MSNBC, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, you're not only a killer, you're a destroyer of cultures.
What a horrible legacy of a Thanksgiving. If you gather, whether you're even within your immediate family, and somebody gets sick a few days or a week or two, do it outside and wear your mask. Cancel.
I know in my family, I know several people who call it colonizer Christmas because they don't really like the idea of what Thanksgiving represents. Is it really that much of a disruption that we should maybe back off of Thanksgiving this year?
That original Thanksgiving, where the colony was starving, they had to resort to cannibalism to remain alive.
Laura, you cannot make this up. So to share a meal with your family and thank God for the blessings he's given us, that makes you a colonizer and a condoner of cannibalism. I don't understand why these people hate American traditions, and I think God to such an extent that they use the past to demean the present and an all-American get-together. It's outrageous.
I'm just going to add this really trite observation, Raymond. I'll admit it's trite.
Yeah.
Don't they all just seem like a ball? I mean, don't you just want to break bread with them post-pandemic when this is all over and we're all the new global society is created? Wouldn't they be fun to hang out with?
Only if we can put them out on the porch.
I want your reaction to this. Pope Francis,
yes.
He wouldn't meet with Mike Pompeo, right, the Secretary of State, but he did meet with NBA players at the Vatican today to discuss social and economic injustice.
This is a book put together, by the Players Association of many of the things that us players have, done to, use our voice and, to fight for equality, unity, and justice, and, it's just things that we've done.
Laura, first of all, I want to point out, despite a huge second wave in Italy, no one in the meeting had a mask on. Now, that's real faith. And this is rather extraordinary. A few weeks ago, Cardinal Joseph Zen, the former Archbishop of Hong Kong, wanted to meet with the Pope to warn him about this ruinous China deal with the Vatican and how they're persecuting the Chinese faithful. Well, the Pope would not meet with him. Instead, he had to leave a letter at the door. But he has time to fraternize and play around, get golden basketballs from these NBA players. I guess China was okay with this meeting.
I don't think any Hong Kong independence activists are going to be stopping by the Vatican anytime soon. I can't believe Cardinal Zen only got to leave a letter. And it was open door for the NBA. But do you think the Pope's going to wear that jersey, the NBA jersey? You think that's
they
gonna
also
happen?
gave him a Black Lives Matter T-shirt.
Why am I not surprised? Raymond, thank you so much. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And still...